In the last 90 days, I made a little over $100,000 profit from high ticket remote sales. I've seen a lot of people talk about this business model recently online. It's kind of been blowing up a little bit. I just want to give the raw reality and kind of talk about the truth about this industry and why 90% of people end up quitting in their first month and a half. I'm going to drop a lot of sauce in this video, kind of everything I know about this industry. It's about my 1-year anniversary of getting into this industry, and I've made more money than I've ever thought I could possibly make from doing this. So watch this video all the way through. This is definitely going to be helpful. I'm not much further off than you. I'm about one tiny little step ahead of anybody watching this that hasn't gotten into it yet. So watch this video all the way through. There's going to be a lot of sauce dropped in this video for people that want to get into this industry or kind of see if this industry is even for you in the first place. I kind of want to break down the actual reality of this business model and why 90% of people end up quitting it within their first month and a half, and kind of what you can do to avoid that. So I'll break this down, but just to be transparent, I've closed for some of the biggest offers in the info space, people you see on TikTok and YouTube all the time. I was a top closer for multiple different offers. I kind of just want to break down what people are doing right in this industry, what people are doing wrong, and how you can actually be one of those top percent closers in this industry. Thumbs up this video, subscribe, and comment if you guys learned anything specifically. All right, so real quick, if you're not familiar with this industry, I'm going to kind of break it down real quick. We're basically selling high ticket mentorship courses, masterminds, whatever, for influencers online. So for example, Iman, everybody knows who this is. He basically talks about SMMA, talks about a business model, and then in his bio, he says, DM me personal brand to start. So he basically runs a coaching program for people that want to get started with this. And so every single person that DMs him personal brand on Instagram is going to get replied to by a sales rep of Iman. Okay. Because obviously Iman doesn't have time to answer thousands of DMs. So he hires people like me, people like my buddies, sales reps in general, to answer all of those DMs and end up collecting payments from those people for a commission. Hires people to basically go through the DMs, answer all their questions, qualify them, make sure they have money, collect the money, and then get a commission on that. So it sounds beyond simple, right? And it is, but about 90% of people end up quitting this industry because they get focused on the wrong things and get discouraged. So focusing on the wrong things basically means focusing on everything except actually making money. So this is kind of the way that I was. I know this might be a bad trait, but when I'm working super hard at something and I don't see any return, it gets pretty tough for me to stay motivated. So seeing money in this industry is a great way to prove to yourself that this industry is legit and it's actually worth putting your time and money into. So I'll kind of tell you how to actually start to make money with remote sales right off the bat so you don't get discouraged. And just as a little social proof, why should you listen to me? Because number one, I'm no smarter than you, I promise. And I was able to make a shit ton of money this year from this industry pretty easily and work for some of your favorite influencers that you watch on YouTube, TikTok, etc. I'm not going to name these influencers, but if you watch my other YouTube videos, it's pretty obvious who they are. But yeah, this was my first setup in March 2024 when I started. I just knew that I was pretty well spoken, had good energy, and that's why they hired me, which is a huge thing that I'm going to get into in a second here. But this was my first setup. Okay, this was my college dorm. I was working at a restaurant, and I still managed to close about $250,000 at 10% commission here in about 2 months. I was about $25,000 profit in about 2 months. Okay. So that's when I pretty much realized that I needed to put more time and energy into this. I quit my job. I dropped out of school, and here I am 1 year later. I went from Nissan Altima to a Range Rover. I got my dream watch, whatever. None of that stuff actually matters. The only thing that actually matters is that I got time and location freedom. I could go wherever I want. I could work wherever I want. I can make as much money as I want. That's the only thing I actually cared about. Why was I the person able to do this versus everybody else in the entire world that's gotten into this industry, failed? Why me? Why am I the person that was able to see so much success? Okay. And the reason is because I understand that there's two things you need to be successful in this industry. It's opportunity and skill set. Okay. And they're equally important. A lot of people only focus on one or the other of these two things. So I would say about 97% of people that fail in this industry only focus on this one right here. They only focus on being the best sales rep of all time and don't understand that if you don't pair that with a good opportunity and you're on kind of like a mid offer, you're never going to make a lot of money. A decently skilled sales rep on a great influencer's offer will go 10 times further than a great sales rep on a mid. So I forgot to add this in the last clip. That's why I'm jumping in with a different background. But the reason is that you're not going to make a lot of money. And the reason that a mid sales rep goes way further on a great influencer's offer is because a great influencer has more lead flow. If you're on a mid offer doing 25, 30K a month and you're a really talented sales rep, you might increase that to 35, 40K a month. But either way, if you're making 10% commission, you're never going to get to those $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 months if the business is only bringing in max $40,000 a month with the leads. That's why it's crucial that you have to get on a really, really good offer with a ton of lead flow and a lot of money to be made. Because if the influencer is making no money in general, there's no commission for you to get. It doesn't matter if you're the objection handling demon. If there's no calls on the board, you're never going to be able to make. Obviously, being good at sales is super important. You got to know how to objection handle. You got to know how to discover the right way. But if you're not on a good offer, that's really the biggest thing I'm emphasizing here. And I think a lot of people that have been in this industry that have tried, have gone in and out, will 100% agree with that as well. All your favorite gurus that talk about high ticket sales as well, they were on phenomenal influencers offers. Every single one of them. You're never going to hear a high ticket sales rep talk about how successful he was on like a mid influencers offer. It just is unheard of. It's never going to happen because there's not enough money on that influencers offer. So the number one thing you should be focusing on is making sure you're finding a good reputable offer with an influencer that has a cult-like following. No, that doesn't mean that they have to have millions of followers. It just has to mean that their audience is engaged with them and actually trust them with what they do. Hardest part isn't getting good at sales. That's easy. You memorize a few things, you hop on some mock calls. The hard part is networking your way to a great offer. So let's kind of get into how to do that and how I did it. And you only have to do it one time, because once you network your way to a good offer and you perform pretty well, you can just use that on your resume. Everybody's connected in this industry, so they know that if you do well for one influencer, you'll probably do well for another. So once you get on a good offer one time and perform, you really don't have to worry too much about outreach again. And just as a little more proof right here, this was me as the number one closer. I was closing at a 69% close rate, $410,000. So I think this was over the span of a few months, maybe 2 to 3 months. $410,000 cash collected at a 69% close rate. So the number one thing I focused on was making sure that the offer and the opportunity I had was good, so I could make the most amount of money. Because a lot of people come into this industry thinking that they want to make a lot of money, but they're not doing actionable steps to make a lot of money. They're doing objection handling training all day long. They're doing all this, which in turn will make you more money, but they're not focusing on getting that opportunity, which is actually going to make them more commission. So how did I manage to get on one of the biggest influencers offers when I was literally sitting in my dorm room working at a restaurant? How did I manage to do that? Okay, so I'm going to get into that in a sec here. All right, number one. Basically, the whole point of this is to find a small influencer with potential, okay, and DM looms. If you guys don't know what a loom is, it's exactly what I have right here. It's basically a video of you talking so they can understand that you're well-spoken. You'd be a good sales rep for them. I have a free tutorial on how to make a good loom video on my Discord if you guys. Yeah, so for example, right here, this is a good influencer that has a ton of potential. So I made $35,000 in 90 days with selling beats, just copy me. So he's going to be selling a mentorship on how to create a YouTube type beat channel for producers. So it's a super niche audience, okay? I'm sure he has a very cult-like audience because of how niche it is. I'm sure that this dude doesn't know a ton about sales because he's not in the industry. So if you pitch him to say, hey, I'd love to be a sales rep for you to reach out to all the leads, the people in your DMs, I guarantee that if you're well-spoken, have good energy, he's going to hire you to do something. Like, people are like, how do I get on a good offer? You're not even trying. You know what I mean? Like, I found this dude in about 5 seconds. What you should do is DM this dude on Instagram, maybe email him, figure out a way to get in contact with him and pitch yourself as a sales rep to him, because you want to help him make more money, not the other way around, okay? He doesn't care about you making money. You have to provide him value. You have to help him make more money so that it makes sense for you to get hired. Always frame it as, I'm trying to help you make more money by closing deals. All I ask for is a commission on everything I sell. That's it. Just a sales rep. You are a worker for him. As much as I'd sit here and like to say that there's 50 different ways to get on a remote sales offer, there's really only about 2. So number 1 is going to be the volume. And number 2, the easiest and laziest way to go about it is number 2, you can buy your way into a network. Okay, so if you have a little bit of money to spend and you want to just join a high ticket sales community, you can join these communities that have offers ready to go. Okay, so all these influencers all the time, people like Iman and people like Alex Eubanks and all these massive influencers, they always need good sales reps, because if they don't have good sales reps, they don't make money. Okay, so if you think you're going to be good at this and want just a lazy way to get on an offer, buy your way into a network. So you're going to get a little bit of training, you're going to understand the sales process, and you're also going to get guaranteed place onto an offer. As you can see right here, this is one of our communities right here, actively hiring setters for one of the biggest trading offers in the space. It's one of the biggest traders that you guys see on TikTok all the time. So you can literally just apply right there. This is a trading offer doing $400K a month organically. This is a phone setter for another trader, $3 to $7K a month OTE, estimated income. So you're not going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars your first month, but as a setter, to make $3 to $7K a month consistently from calling people on your phone, it's kind of a no-brainer. So that's kind of the second way to get into it. But overall, if you're trying to get in the trenches and actually grind this out, you could do volume outreach. If you have a little bit of money to spend and just want to buy your way into a network, you can do that as well. Yeah, these are the 2 quickest ways to get on offers. Everything I showed you, it seems pretty simple, right? It seems pretty straightforward, pretty simple. You can just outreach your way, you can buy your way into a network, you can get on an offer. So why do 90% of people quit this? And the whole reason is they don't see consistent return. They don't see money hit their bank account consistently enough to drop everything and do it. So why was I able to see those consistent returns? Why me? I'm no smarter than anybody watching this video. The only reason is because I positioned myself to land a good opportunity. I'm good at identifying good opportunities and making sure that I get placed on them. So if you guys don't want to get burnt out, you guys want to make sure that you stay in this industry long term, which I highly recommend because it's only growing. Make sure that when you're doing outreach or when you get on an offer, it's a quality offer. So how do you know the offer that you're going to be on is quality? Okay, so here's a few questions. Locations, but I'm jumping right back into it. So a good offer potential is number one, they're making over 50K a month consistently. This is the offer. Okay, so this is whatever mentorship coaching program is making over $50,000 consistently. Why does this matter? It's because you're only getting 5 to 10% as a sales rep. So if you're making 5 to 10% of 50K, you're only making 2.5 to 5K a month. And that's just with you being the only sales rep. Usually there's 2 or 3 of them on there. So you have to have offers making over 50K a month if you want to make any sort of income at all. Realistically, you want to be looking for offers that are doing 100, 200, 300K a month, but making anything under 50K a month is not even worth your time, to be completely honest. Number 2 is they're going to want some sort of organic traffic. Okay, so paid ads is fine. You can get some leads from paid ads, but if they have organic audience, that means that their audience actually trusts them. They're reaching out to them without them having to pay for clicks and stuff like that. So it's super, super important. Engagement obviously is number 3, the biggest thing. And I put an example here of this dude, Mark Builds Brands. He has 35,000 subscribers. This video got like 8,000 views. And the biggest thing that you can tell that people want to buy from this guy is because of the comments. It says, "Hey, Mark, where did you initially learn about all these things?" Obviously, this dude would love to buy a mentorship. This one right here are static ads, good for leading people into my funnel, just like specific questions about his business model. His business model is drop shipping. So people are asking specific questions about drop shipping, which means they're super engaged. They're watching the video. They want to learn more. They see him as an authority figure that actually knows what he's talking about. This is an example of a potential influencer that's offers probably doing over 100K a month, I guarantee you. Simple. And once you start to identify these little key factors, it's so easy to identify who's going to be a good person to sell for and who's not. So I'll kind of get into the second part right here, which is going to be bad offer potential. Okay, this is very simple. If they're like begging for setters and closers, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this guy right here is begging for sales reps because his sales reps are probably paid really well. They probably don't ever leave compared to this person who's literally begging for sales reps with uncapped commissions. It just looks scammy. I still see people talking about Facebook groups as a great way to get job opportunities. Do not use Facebook. Nobody uses Facebook to get remote sales opportunities. Use DMs, use emails. The last place you should be going is Facebook first. But from what I've seen and what other people in my program have said, stay away from Facebook. There's just offers full of this. But yeah, so number 1 is sus job postings. The postings are just always sus. They have a million emojis. They're just like promising uncapped commissions, random stuff, unknown traffic. Where are these leads coming from? Who are we closing? What is the niche? You never know. They're always like so sus about it. They never say where the traffic's coming from, if it's organic, if it's paid, whatever it is. And then also there's huge OTE gaps. 3 to 10K a month, that's a massive gap. I get that they're saying setters and closers, but still, like this one's right here is looking for a high ticket setter. The estimated income is 1K to 7K. 40 to 50% commissions a deal. So it's just like massive commissions. It's weird estimated. You can kind of tell that these wouldn't waste your time with any of them. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty quick video. Hopefully you guys got some sort of value. Please drop if you guys learned anything in the comments. If you guys want guaranteed remote sales opportunities, click on that link below, kind of fill it out, see if you qualify for it. Hopefully somebody gains some sort of value out this. If you guys like these sort of like more educational videos, please like, thumbs up, comment down below because I'm definitely open to making more of these style videos to help you guys out that want to get on offers. If you guys want to see anything specific in remote sales in general, just comment it down below and I'll definitely work on that video. Let me know what you guys want to see next as far as this industry and I'll definitely make a video on that. But other than that, I'll see you guys in a few days.